Joining us now is the governor of Virginia, Glenn Youngkin. Governor, good to see you.
Laura, thank you so much for having me with you. What an exciting night. How about when President Trump came in? This place just erupted.
I know. What did you see? What did you feel? You were down there with the delegates?
Yeah, so first of all, the whole day has been filled with anticipation and excitement, and it represents this moment of, yes, unity. Unity for the party, unity for the nation. And you can feel the spirit of hope literally spreading across not just this huge arena, but across the country. And that's what it feels like. And you could see everyone standing up and cheering. How exciting that he's here tonight, and how exciting it is for everybody to be able to tell him that they're so thankful that he's safe and that he will lead our nation.
How have you been able to speak with him personally yet?
Yeah, I spoke with him yesterday. And I first told him that Providence is real, and that he was a millimeter away from a very different outcome, and he knows that. And he acknowledged that he was going to speak about unity, and this is a moment to bring the whole nation together. And then he encouraged me, rewrite your speech too.
He
did. And so this is a real statement about a moment in America where we get to reflect on where we are and where we want to be. And we don't want to be where Joe Biden's had us. We don't want to be in a moment of weakness, of foreign policy weakness or economic weakness with chaos at the border. We know that we can bring common sense back to America. Donald Trump and J.D. Vance as our vice president will do exactly that. There will be economic strength. There will be foreign policy strength. We'll have a secure border, and America will be strong again.
Mm-hmm. How well do you know Senator J.D. Vance?
Not well at all. Not well at all. I'm very excited about his choice today in J.D. Vance from the president. I think he will be a tremendous running mate, and he'll be a great vice president. I mean, let's be serious. He fought for our country. He understands what it means to be pulled up by your bootstraps, and he fights for prosperity. He's going to be a great running mate for the president.
You're from the state of Virginia, the great Commonwealth of Virginia.
Thank you.
And before the last couple of weeks, we looked at the polls. It's not a battleground. It has been a purple state in years past. How do you see it moving in recent weeks?
Well, of course, what we've seen even before the debate was that Virginia was locked up tied.
For the Democrats. Locked
up tied. Locked up tied between President Trump and Joe Biden. And that was before the debate. And of course, what that reflects, I believe, is the same sentiment that when we were fortunate to win in 2021, the idea that Virginians want an economic future that's bright and strong, and they want to make sure that their children can go to schools that teach their children how to think, not what to think, that we back the blue, that we stand for our military. I mean, this is the America that Virginians want, and that's why I think that the weak leadership from Joe Biden is being reflected in strength with Donald Trump in the polls, and Virginia's in play.
Mm-hmm. Major Garrett is with us as well.
Governor Youngkin, you mentioned a moment ago that what happened on Saturday was, from your vantage point, a providential moment.
I do.
I know many delegates that I've spoken to believe exactly the same thing. Thomas Jefferson talked about the separation of church and state. Articulate for the country, as best you can, a providential moment, but also maintaining that separation of church and state.
Well, first of all, I am led by my faith. And Suzanne, when I asked her to marry me, said yes, but our faith has to be at the center of our marriage. That's the way that we live our lives. And as I serve as governor, I don't check my faith at the door. It comes into every decision with me. It's part of who I am. I do believe that's one of the reasons why Virginians trust me, is they understand the basis by which I'm going to be making decisions, which is something bigger than myself. And I believe that there is not a message by separation of church and state that we are to be unimpacted by our strong belief that there is an almighty creator who endowed us with certain unalienable rights, and among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This is America. And in fact, faith and God are infused into our national soul. What it does mean is that we don't force people to practice a certain religious belief. In fact, we protect it. We protect it in our First Amendment, that you can practice your own religious belief the way you want to. That's America.
Governor,
and I think that's why it's so important for us to remind ourselves of that every day.
Governor, can I ask you, as someone who has had a successful career in business, you want Virginia to be the place where everybody comes to do business. There have been a wide number of economists who've said that Donald Trump's decision to place tariffs on so many goods will actually be a tax on middle-class Americans. Can you respond to that?
Let me just first begin that Virginia last week was named America's best place for business, and so I'm very honored and was very excited about that. Virginia's doing great. We've had record job growth and $74 billion of capital commitments from companies, and I think that's reflective of the hard work that we're doing. Listen, economists project lots of things, and I believe that
tariffs will raise the price of goods, and that will affect consumers.
I believe that what President Trump is doing is staking out a very strong position that free and fair trade must be reciprocal, and that in fact we will make sure that we have free and fair trade as a country. And let's just pick one country, China. China is not a rival. China is trying to dominate the world, and they're trying to do it at the expense of the United States. And for too long, we allowed them to have open access to the U.S. market without any kind of counterbalance from America. And when President Trump struck the China trade deal and imposed substantial tariffs on them, it was a critically important statement that we're going to stand up for free and fair trade. I believe that's what he is going to stand up for in his next presidency, is that we will have free, fair, and reciprocal trade, but it has to be that. It's not just sell your goods in the United States and do not worry about what we do to your goods when they come overseas.
Well, thank you for answering that question. There's no doubt there will be a continued debate about the economic policies of Donald Trump versus Joe Biden, what tariffs mean. I think the American people would love to have a debate about the issues, which we haven't really had yet. There's been so much going on. Governor Youngkin, congratulations to the state of Virginia.
Thank you.
On that new recognition.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for being with here.
Great to be with you. Thank you all very much.